Alright, good morning everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm your charming, self-proclaimed yet still humble host, Mukluk, and today is Guild Wars Tuesday. We're going to be hanging out on the, I believe I'm on the EU servers of Guild Wars right now, hanging out with you guys, and answering any questions that people may have. What is that? There it is. There we go. That For the Emperor clip is my favorite. I enjoy it as well. We used it on a YouTube video once. Good morning, how's the voice going, Muck? What's up, Sand? Not much different from yesterday. I think the meds that they put me on, the most recent ones actually are helping. So it's like half as bad as it used to be, but I'm still not normal. My battles continue. Hello, Dub. Hey, MuklukYoutube. Hey, Sayu. Hey, Hex. I see you. Actual Yalta, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate it. What's the plan today? No plan. Just vibes. Just gaming. You seem mildly improved. I feel mildly improved. Definitely feeling the mild improvement. Guys, look at me. I'm so curvy. Intense homestead harvesting music. False DMCA claim still going? Yep. Yeah, I can, hang on a second. Let me find... Where did I put it? Okay. Here we go. Oh. Alright. So here's a screenshot of a bunch of my stream VODs for Guild Wars 2. Copyrighted, 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 copyrighted. Okay? And then on top of that, each individual one of those is copyrighted like 4 times. And none of these songs are in the video. So if I didn't play this manual music right now, I would get another pile of them. And this has been going on for months. So yeah, the problem still persists. Yes. Your attitude isn't as bad today? My attitude? I don't know when I've had a bad attitude lately. Except for when people are in chat, like, spoilering things. That's pretty annoying. Look for a career as a mime? Oh, man. Yeah, if I lost my voice completely, I don't know how I would do my job. I'd have to go flip burgers and see if I can just stay in the back. Can you contest the copyright strike? Yeah, I can, but it's a bunch of paperwork for each strike. So just in the pictures I just showed you, there was like 30 of them. It's not feasible for me to spend time doing that like 8 times a day. I had dreams about The Last of Us. Hey, Lemon. Muck, we would still watch you regardless. You don't need to get rid of us that easily. I appreciate that. It would still be a blow, though. I missed the Mistlock Sanctuary music. I'm actually not sure if that one has been triggered at all. To my knowledge, it's mostly when I'm in zones that were there at the launch of the game. Like World v World as an example. Can't ANET help? They are. They're trying. They've been collecting information on people who got strikes from, like, lots of creators, myself included. But they have not yet been successful. I mean, they're not happy about it either. From their perspective, someone's claiming to be them and stealing money from other people, so it looks bad for them too. But they have not yet gotten to the bottom of it. YouTube needs to take the claiming system and throw it in the garbage. Well, they do need some kind of claiming system. But people have figured out how to abuse the current one too much. Like, YouTube is so massive at this point. It's like, it's something like each day, like something years of footage is uploaded to YouTube. Like, it's gargantuan. And it's impossible to have a human review everything, so they have to have programs that review it. And then just pull in humans for when, you know, something needs to be double-checked or something like that. But yeah, it's gotten pretty bad. Let's see. Hey Mug, I have a dilemma, need some thoughts. I want to start a new character. Can't decide race class combination. I mean, most of my characters are Asuras, so if you're asking me for advice, you know what I'm gonna say. But that's just a personal favorite. There's no wrong answer there. After watching Muck play Druid, I decided to build one, and boy, Harrier is expensive. Yeah, Harrier is one of those endgame sets that is very popular. Like Harrier, Berserker, Viper. Did you finish Warframe? Yes, I beat it. It was a pretty short game. Howdy, y'all. Hello, Elnric. Will you do a review for it, or is it already done in a stream? I actually tried something new. I did a video, and I've recorded it, and it's in Noxxi's inbox right now. I did a video that'll probably be like an hour long. It's like a long-form video that's kind of talking about, like, my whole experience with my first stream of Warframe. So it's like the first 5 hours condensed into me telling a story about what happened. Like the good and the bad. And if that video does well, I'd probably do more on it. But I've done that so far. I don't think it would be fair for me to review Warframe because I did not reach many of the endgame activities. So I can't, like, say that I tried everything out. Like, I could give a, you know, new player's thoughts on Warframe. I think that would be fair. But a full review I don't think would be fair. Are you saying the game got good after 100 hours? No. I think it got worse the farther I went.
You can feel it. A bitter chill. The whispers on the wind. Prepare yourself.
Just lie and say you did everything. Just have like this, and just have like 000, you know, after the hours, like written in clearly MS Paint. Howdy y'all, good morning. Hey, think you saw most of it gameplay-wise? Maybe. I mean, I was kind of assuming, because I didn't even have the whole map open yet. I was assuming there were some more endgame activities that I hadn't seen. Don't forget to put X Destiny player in the title for extra views. I've never played Destiny. I mean, if we're gonna lie, I'll just put, like, X Mr. Beast. Just put his face on the thumbnail in Warframe. Hey, Frem. No, I was thinking something like MMO veteran tries Warframe. And have, like, Warframe and my face on the cover. Do you think multi-classing would be possible in Guild Wars 3? I mean, is it possible? Yeah. But we truly don't know. Like, Guild Wars 1 had it, Guild Wars 2 did not. So I'm not sure what their plan is. Alright, that's it for the daily routine. I think I want to dabble on the Scrapper again. The fact that ANET is being too quiet about Guild Wars 3 worries me. I mean, they've already done multiple videos on it, but yeah, we've only seen like the one trailer of gameplay. And the beta was supposed to be available like late next year. So we've got a little bit. Look, you getting better? I don't know, man. Trying. Quick question. I have like 1,600 hours played, but now that everybody plays it and it's full, I feel like no longer the underdog MMO, and I love underdogs. Wait, what? So you're saying you like Guild Wars 2 less because other people like Guild Wars 2 now? I can't understand that mindset. I feel like, if anything, like, if you like the game, you should be happy if the game's doing well. Because if the game's doing well, the company's getting more money and they can make more content that you can enjoy. It's too mainstream now? I guess. I don't know. He's playing Guild Wars 2 in Starbucks right now. Play Lord of the Rings online? I never played that. It's as big as Fortnite? I do not think Guild Wars 2 is as big as Fortnite. That's very kind of you to say, though. Somebody dig up Wildstar? Was there invisible people there? Ultima Online is still going, that was epic. The oldest MMO that I ever played that is still going is EverQuest. It's got like 32 expansions now or something. That is a lot of Siege. I just started playing again after about a year off. I'm continuing Living World 3. Is there any things I should make sure to do in 3 instead of just playing through the story to get to Path of Fire? I think Living World Season 3 does have a legendary associated with it called Aurora. I don't know how much of it you could get done on your first playthrough, but if you're interested in making that legendary accessory, there's a guide to it on that webpage I just put in the chat. Again, it's called Aurora. And you could... hang on. Dang. You could work on that if you wish to at the same time. Hey, Mike, how's the voice? It's pretty bad. I've noticed, it's a funny thing about it. I've noticed this, though. You know, like, I know it's asked out of concern, but every time someone asks me when I'm live on stream how my voice is doing, I typically respond with my voice. So it's kind of like if I had a broken leg, and someone's like, "Hey, how's the leg? Hop on it a few times so I can see." You know, and I'm like making it worse every time I respond. So I mean, it's not great, man. What do you think is going to happen to get the next Guild Wars 2 story release? I do not know. We know that Vlox is going to do something, but he's got a lot of power, but we don't know what. Honestly, there's so much that's messed up about that, because there was the... dang it. Gosh, I got the thing. I'll try a rematch. Oh, dang it. She interrupted my heal. Ah. She's too much mobility. I couldn't get close. Anyway, the thing with Vlox, like, at the end of the first chunk of the story, Vlox had power, he was running away, and we didn't know what he was going to do with it. At the end of the second chunk of the story, Vlox had power, he was running away, and we didn't know what he was going to do with it. Honestly, it feels like nothing really happened in the second story release, to me. Like, the situation is still exactly the same. So I don't know what they're going to do at this point. I got mercenaries at Guild Wars 1. Anyone know what they are? I believe a Guild Wars 1 mercenary is like a copy of one of your characters. Like, imagine you've got a warrior in Guild Wars 1, and then you copy it onto like an AI companion, and then when you play your other characters, you can have your warrior as like a teammate. I have never used the feature, but that's my understanding of it. So they're useless for me with only one character. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can make a copy of the same character and use it as a companion while you're on that same character or not. Neighbors mowing their lawn, sorry. I asked last night, but I also didn't want to distract or anything. What are your thoughts on The Last of Us story so far? It's good. I mean, we finished The Last of Us Part 1 last night. It was pretty good writing, honestly. Like, I really appreciated that multiple times in The Last of Us. Like, there was a moment where Ellie had to kill someone to save Joel. And Joel's like, yo, you didn't do what I said. You didn't wait where I told you to. And I was like, geez, Joel, not even a thank you? And she's like, okay. And then a second later, she's like, you know what? No, F you. It's not even a thank you. And I'm like, oh, there we go. Like, most of the time, when I thought someone was going to say something, they did. Like, they did respond to each other like actual human beings. I thought the writing was quite decent. Are we jumping into part 2 next? No, there's apparently a DLC for part 1. I think it's called Left Behind. So that's the next thing on my radar. Is that the same Gale shot that killed me, or is that a different one? That's too many. There's like 5 blues there. Oh, shoot. Series isn't terrible either for The Last of Us. I mean, I've just played the story. I don't need to watch it a second time, so I don't intend to. But, yeah, right now I'm on the... I'm gonna play the DLC for The Last of Us Part 1, and then I'm on the fence about playing Part 2. And the reason I'm on the fence is... so many people have bad stuff to say about Part 2. And I know, because they were memed into oblivion, there are 2 major plot points in Part 2 that I already know about. How many times did your neighbor mow the lawn? Like, once every week or 2? When I was a kid, my dad made me do yard work like every Saturday, maybe every other Saturday if I was lucky. You got a weekend off? I said if I was lucky. Hey, Mike, I've been watching your Last of Us gameplay VODs at work. It's been super fun. Nice. What'd you think of the gameplay? For The Last of Us? It was okay. I just recently played a game called Days Gone. And the gameplay is very similar. Like, when it's not focused on the story, you're going around, you're picking up things like, you know, alcohol, duct tape, paper, scissors, things like that, and then you craft with them. So I would say in terms of like a survival crafting RPG, it was fine. It was not nearly as good as most other survival crafting games I've played. But you know, it was all right. Oh shoot. Ah ha ha ha, they didn't get me. Got away. What was your favorite survival crafting game? I don't know. I can't immediately say, but I can give you some examples. Like, in Days Gone, one of the most exciting things you could find throughout the game was stuff that let you upgrade the size of your backpack. So basically, like at the beginning of the game, you can hold like 3 duct tape, 3 glue, 3 paper, 3 of this, 3 of that. And in a pinch, you would combine things into what you need. Like alcohol plus a rag could make a Molotov cocktail, or it could make like an antiseptic bandage. You know, things like that. And when you would get bigger pockets, you could hold 4 of each thing, then 5, then 6. And it was a major being able to do that. But in The Last of Us, those upgrades didn't exist. From the beginning of the game to the end of the game, the amount of stuff you could hold never changed. And so it's kind of a bummer. What? Okay, that sucked. I put up my projectile reflect, and they shot me with, I guess, an unblockable projectile that interrupted the projectile reflect. Apart from Guild Wars 2, what are some of your favorite games? Riftbreaker. Riftbreaker. Most people know me for the Guild Wars 2 stuff, but I think I also have the most hours streamed as a Riftbreaker streamer as well. But it's pretty niche. It's like an RTS and an action RPG combined. Very fun. He says he knows the major plot points, lol, but okay. That's not what I said, Jamie. That's not what I said. I said there are 2 major plot points that have already been spoiled for me. So I know that those 2 things will happen. I did not say I knew all the major plot points. Riftbreaker is this month's humble choice, by the way. It's a great game. I've actually got a video plugging it, just like I have one for Guild Wars 2. I'll put a link to it in the chat if any of you are interested. Other games I've really been enjoying lately. Total War Warhammer 3. I've been playing a lot of Darktide off stream the last few days, playing the new class that they added, the Skitarii. That's been really fun. I don't know, as I've not been a Muck follower long enough. Have you played Baldur's Gate 3? I have done 3 playthroughs of Baldur's Gate 3. When it first released, I did a good playthrough on max difficulty, and then right after, I did a bad playthrough on max difficulty. And then, like a year later, I did a playthrough of it for the Golden Dice. So I did a playthrough where the party never wiped a single time. So there's like 300 hours of Baldur's Gate 3 on my Mukluk Plays YouTube channel if you're interested. Thinking about another collab like you did with Vermintide 2, but with Darktide? The Vermintide 2 collab went horribly, in case you forgot. It went really poorly. Like, it encouraged me to do less collabs. You'd like Divinity Original Sin 2? Could be fun to play before Larian's new Divinity game. You'd like... Okay, for anyone who doesn't know, Divinity Original Sin 2 was the first game I ever streamed as a streamer. Like, literally day 1. 0 viewers. I was playing that. I know it's a great game. It's amazing. I also beat that one on hardcore, so I've beaten it with no wipes also. How about Red Dead Redemption 2? Yeehaw Skyrim? Doesn't really appeal to me. I've never played it, though. I joined on day 99 of your streak. I must have just missed EOS 2. Maybe. I remember I played it, and then like I played it again on hardcore, and I beat it on hardcore, and then I played it again on what is it? It's like Lone Wolf hardcore, where you could only have a party size of 2 instead of 4, and I almost beat it on that, but I did make a mistake like pretty far in, and so I didn't get the win on that one. That's a lot of frogs. This might go poorly, because I'm on the NG. We will see what happens. They interrupted one of my biggest things. Oh, that's going poorly. Yeah, let's just reset. Might have to get back on my druid. Yikes, that was rough. This year we should do another Outlast 2 run with the Jelly Bean. Oh my god, no. No, 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 no. What happened with the last collab thing? Who all was it? I invited some other people who at the time were Guild Wars 2 content creators. And I was like, hey, I want to show you guys one of my favorite games ever. It was Vermintide 2. And we were playing Vermintide 2, and one was Fandral, and one was Rose MMO. And I like both of those people. If there was a third person, I can't even remember who it was. But I told them both ahead of time. I was like, all right, this is going to be PG stream. Is that okay? And they were like, yeah. And I'm like, all right. And I had done like collabs with Rose before, and he was fine. So like, he's not usually PG on his stream, but I thought that he could, you know, turn it off. And they were very much not PG during the stream. And I was like, I got really frustrated with them because like they kept breaking the rules that they agreed to. And I was like, okay. And I didn't collab for months after that. I think the only collab I've actually done since then was talking with Loranity and Noxxi about like patches. Some people cannot turn it off. No, again, like, he could, but he didn't that day because he thought it'd be funny. And then afterward, he apologized to me when he realized how bothered I was by it. Have you played 7 Days to Die? No, I have never played that. Hey, Tara, thank you for the prime. The one you did with the WoW streamer is pretty entertaining. Oh, Nagura? Yeah, that was sponsored, but it did go really well. Like, that one is still doing well. I still am getting comments on YouTube, like, a couple times a week about that video, and people saying that it helped them out because they were thinking of coming to Guild Wars 2 from WoW. That one did, like, shockingly good. Like, for example, I've made thousands of videos, and, like, 50 of them broke 100,000 views. That's one of them. So I was very surprised that a sponsored video did that well. Struggling to get my DPS consistently up. I have RTPS testing on Golem, Snowcrow's Power, Soul Beast 2, and Sword Axe's rotation. Is the trick getting the rotation timing exact? I mean, it depends on how far off you are. I would say the average player, if they can get to like 75% of what Snowcrow's has, that's really good. But their Snowcrow's...
Look, it's the Tree of Birds. How are you today?
Snowcrow's Discord does have a... What is it called? A, Ranger channel? You could go there and ask for assistance, and they might be able to point you in the right direction. That was rough. This veteran scout was blinding me constantly during that exchange. Muk, have you played Hades or Frostpunk? I have full cleared both of them, and the playthroughs are on the Mukluk Plays YouTube channel if you would like to watch them. Hades 1 and 2, Frostpunk 1 and 2. Do you think with Guild Wars 3 being a skill collection-based game, it will be alt-friendly like Guild Wars 2? Personally, I'm hoping for an FF14 style of character where my one tune can play all classes and roles. That would be interesting. I played FF14 for just like a weekend, and then I put it down. So, like, I've dabbled in that, but beyond that, I've never really played a game with that kind of system, but it could be cool. But right now, it would just be guesswork. We do not know. Nice. Man, I was starting to lose confidence in this character because we lost like 3 1v1s at the beginning of the stream, but that's 2 that we won back to back. Guess it just depends on the matchup. I have so many alts and majority now set in my home says NPCs. Mike, I'm leveling a Necro, planning to make it a Writ. What kept you playing Writ so long once launch came? As someone who enjoys pets, the spirits of Writ were a major disappointment. But the skills that they got, like the weapon of warding and stuff like that, those were really nice. They did a really good job with those. Is she just auto-running? No, there she goes. She's here. Need invis. Oh, too many people here. I think that's me dead. Ooh. Dang it. Oh, not good, friends. Not good. Too many of them. They wanted me. I had 5 of them chasing me. Escape simulator. Yeah, I got pretty far. Took 5 of them and an extremely long distance to do it. Is medkit better solo World v World healing than AED? Never played NG World v World. It depends on the situation. So the thing is, like, bandage self, the self heal through medkit is only got a 14-second cooldown. So that means that you can use, like, you see all the blue text on that? You can use all of that every 14 seconds. If you're using AED, it's a 24-second cooldown. Additionally, the medkit has, like, these 2 buttons don't help at all when you're solo. But this is a heal all around you. This is a bunch of boons, and this is a Condi cleanse. So you've got access to those. So that's nice. You're playing with cone hat? They're all cone hats. What do you mean? See if we can get this camp over here. Oh, it's got 3 minutes. I'm not going to be able to. Hey Mux, Sabi might have say enjoyed watching The Last of Us. I hope you play the second one. It's absolutely worth it, and it will be enlightening as to some controversies, which I think people took too far, including death threats to VAs. There's always psychos. Yeah, the main thing I care about, just like, is it good? But yeah, I'm going to play The Last of Us 1 DLC, called Left Behind. That's next on the agenda. And then Last of Us 2, maybe. And I was mentioning earlier that because of a couple of scenes of The Last of Us 2 that went viral as, like, memes, there's 2 major things I know that happens in it that a lot of people hated. And honestly, not looking forward to those either. But the rest of the story, I don't know. All I can give is my opinion. I just think it's a good game. No, that your opinion is welcome. I will throw it into the play it column. Got him. Oh, I tried to dodge that. Interrupted my heal. Oh my goodness! Spear Mesmer says hi. Did I lose him? Ah, I tried to knock her off the cliff. Man, I was totally fine with 1v1ing the warrior, but the Mesmer keeps trying to join in, and they're not welcome. I dropped an oil slick in the water. Let's see if they see it. They either saw it or they both had stability. Wow, okay, that was neat. Oil slick. Maybe I need to put on the disguise outfit. I don't think people would normally chase one kill this far if it wasn't for them possibly thinking like, oh hey, it's Mark. It's the same guild as last time too, which might be related. There we go, got out of combat. Yeah, that was... The fact that they chased me from there all the way to this keep is, unusual. Chad should join you with all of them dressed up as Muk. Funny idea, but no, let's not do that. You're pretty well known in Guild Wars 2. Well, yeah, but in World v World you can't see your opponent's name. But if you recognize their appearance, then that's different. Also, I don't know where I'd find that many Asuras with wizard hats. And on your team. Yep. Are you planning to watch the TV series of The Last of Us? No, I just played the game. I know the story, so I'm not feeling inclined to do that. He feared the gyro, so I had to stomp him. You suggested me the GW2uesday anime. I watched it. It was nice. What anime can you still suggest me, please? I'm only currently watching 2. There's one that's out right now that's called Daemons of the Shadow Realm. And it was made by the same lady who made Full Metal Alchemist. And I've really enjoyed it so far. A druid did not cleanse himself fast enough. Yeah, druided the druid. No, I out-conded him. The napalm ability does a lot of damage, and it looks the exact same as a normal spray. So it seems to catch people by surprise. Is this the hot soundtrack? Yep. I keep getting copyright striked for the World v World music. Shoot. I almost got that Weaver down, but not quite. I don't think I have a chance now. There's too many of them. I have to go somewhere else. Fast boy. Fast as Muck boy. Like, what's your favorite heavy armor class in Guild Wars 2? All right, we're really like you're picking 3 things that are in the back of my fridge covered in mold, and you're saying which one's your favorite. I don't really play Warrior Guardian or Revenant. If I have to pick, I guess Guardian, just because I feel like it can do the most. Still moldy though.
They win. I die.
Oh, the Gale shots here. Not good. Why did I not go invisible? Yeah, I could have done that on the druid. This build is fun, but I feel like my problem with engineer is I get all these really fun toys that I want to play with, and put it on a build, and there's like no room left for damage because I took too many toys. I heard some doomers saying druid roaming will be dead with new changes. What do you think about it? I think you're probably talking to people that hang out on Reddit too much. Druid is, what is it losing? It's losing the 1 second daze to enemies when they enter astral form if they're in melee range of them. But it's gaining a bunch of other stuff. So, do I think it will be dead? No. It will be 1 second's worth of days worse in certain matchups. It's not going to be dead. It's that same Gale shot. I admit it, she's already beaten me twice today. I don't really want to duel her again unless there's like something to line of sight between us. She's just hounding me. See, I don't think that way. If I like fight someone in a duel and then I win against them and then I run into them again later on, I usually don't attack first because I feel like that's bullying. I usually am just like, yeah, I'll just walk past you unless you hit me first. Choose 3 professions to buff, nerf, and delete. Buff Ranger, nerf Amalgam, delete Guardian. Oh. Wow. Yeah, she's probably stream sniping at this point, considering she came I waypointed across the map, and she came all the way over here and landed on top of me, so she's watching the stream. So, no integrity on this one. Saved the other person with function gyro while I was fighting her. That terrain was more advantageous for me, though, because it was tighter. Gale Shot will always win if they're good at kiting and they're in a huge open area, because they have constant well, not constant, but they have high uptime on super speed, and they have the longest range in the game, or tied for it. So they can just get away from you and just pelt you down. But if you can get close to them, they're not nearly as busted as like Luminary or Amalgam. And she came into an area that was like, you know, a choke point. How do you loot your boxes without having to see what they yield first? Right click on them. And if you don't know that tip, you probably don't know a lot of other tips that are in this video that I'm linking you right now. Thank you. Sure. As a druid, it will still exist. I promise, however, it's an annoying nerf. What's up, Paper Roll? Yeah, I saw your video on the losing the 1 second days. But I do not think, like, I think saying the class will be dead is like major, you know, just dooming from like, you know, Reddit people. I don't think that it's going to be dead. I wish you could set auto open rather than right click too. Yeah, it'd be nice. New player, been watching vids, very helpful. What are strikes? I see you mentioned them in older vids, and they're in achievements, don't see them in LFG. Hey, Rodimus, what's up? Strikes were renamed. Just in the last, like, year, they were renamed to raid encounters. So there's raids, and there's raid encounters, which are the things that used to be strikes. Shoot. I was not expecting that CC to do nothing. I think I'm dead. It's too many dots. I think if it was either one of them, I'd be okay. But both at once is too much. Oh, there's a fourth one. When I ran past that Reaper, he threw a fear mark on me. Then he just like walked away, but... yeah, that rev was really bursty. Hey, Muck, I thought you had not streamed the day you went to ANET headquarters. No, I did stream that day. So, it was kind of like a technicality, right? We still wanted to keep the streak alive. So it was like, okay, let's say Wednesday, I streamed until midnight. And then at 12:01, so it was Thursday, I ended the stream, and then I started the stream back up, and I streamed for like 10 more minutes. So that was my stream for Thursday, it was like 10 minutes. And then I flew across the country, and I went to ANET HQ, and then I was up all day, and then I crashed. And then the next morning, I streamed, which was Friday morning, and I basically was just like in the hotel room, and I told everybody like what happened, and I just told the story, and then I went to PAX. So the streak is a lie? No, it's a lie. It's just got technicalities. For example, dude, in 8 years, technicalities have happened. There was a day where my internet went down at my house. So I connected to the stream using my phone with Wi-Fi, and it was like 3 FPS. And I was like, can you see me? It still counts. It still counts. And I was just like mashed up against the screen, screaming into the phone. And so that day, the stream was like 3 minutes of me screaming at my phone. So, yeah, there's been a couple of times where just, something happened, like the power was out or the internet went down, over 8 years. And we had to do something crazy just to keep it going, but... yeah, we've done a stream of at least a few minutes every day for 8 years. What are you gonna do when you hit 3K streams? Pass out, probably. Probably some big giveaway party day or something. Muck streamed with COVID. That one sucked, yeah. I could barely even talk that day. I was like, welcome to Mukluk ASMR. And we just kind of like messed around for 20 minutes and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go die now. And then I just passed out. Yeah, there are things that I can't do well that other streamers can. But when it comes to consistency, for some reason, that one comes easy to me. I know an FF14 streamer that's done like 1060 stream days in a row without missing one. Nice. Yeah, I'm not the only one who does this, but I'm the most known one in the Guild Wars community. Can you talk about how you managed to keep the streak alive so long? Like being sick, holidays, birthdays, etc. How do you find the motivation? Okay, holidays. So, on weekdays, my normal schedule is I stream once in the morning and once in the evening, and on weekends, just in the evening. Okay? However, holidays. Alright, Halloween. The big thing with Halloween is doing stuff with my kid that evening, right? So, Halloween, I stream in the morning and I don't stream at night, because I'm with my kid. For... what was the other one? Christmas. Christmas, family stuff is in the morning. So Christmas, I don't stream in the morning, but I do stream in the evening. Right? It depends on the holiday. As far as, like, birthdays and stuff, I mean... dude, I'm old. I don't care about my birthday, but, like, my kid's birthday, like, that comes first. Also, if, for example, if, like, family comes into town, and they're like, hey, you want to grab dinner? I'll just ping my Discord, and I'll be like, hey, spending time with family, stream is starting 2 hours later than usual tonight. Like, you know, I move things around as need be. But... I gotta say, like, you know, back when I was just playing games, you know, of course people give you a hard time for, playing so many games, but when it starts earning income, suddenly everybody's a lot more chill with it. So yeah, no one really gives me any a hard time anymore, and I just move things around as need be. Wait, is that friggin' Monkey D. Luffy? Dude, we got this guy looking for the One Piece over here. That's fantastic. Same thing with some, they were all mad as soon as I brought them iPads, they showed up. What? What, Slackjack? Monkey A. Asura Luffy, his distant cousin. Oh, okay. Clearly, you meant like construction work. Clearly. Morning, Mike. Hey, Froke. Is your team winning? I don't know. I'm the kind of World v World player that just constantly am just focused on small fights, and I never really look at the score. And then occasionally I'll get like a reward. Yeah, actually we are winning. But occasionally, like, I'll get, you know, here's a chest for being the top team, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, it usually surprises me when it does happen. I'm usually just going for camps or picking off stragglers as best as I can. There's a Deadeye over there. You got enough cleanses for that, buddy? That's a no. Now, if that Deadeye had a lot longer attack range than me. If he improved his kiting ability, he should be able to kill me without me being able to hit him back. Like, if he had just kept making sure to stay outside my pistol range, but inside his rifle range, I wouldn't have been able to do much. But he did not do that very well. Do you have the low-key fashion on so people underestimate you? No, I turned to the low-key fashion on because there was someone that chased me from here, and they, hold on. There we go. So they were like this, and they chased me like all around here and then killed me there. It was like 5 people, and I'm like, there's no way that 5 people would chase me this much if I didn't have the wizard hat on. So I turned on an outfit to make it a little bit harder to be like, oh, it's Muck, kill him. Muck, what do you think is a good at everything class but also fun to play? Fun is subjective. For me, Ranger. And the thing is, they've kind of done so much homogenization with the classes. Like, every class can be a quickness provider. Every class can be an alacrity provider. Every class can be a healer. Right? So, kind of every class can do everything now, but, you know, not with the same builds. You know, you change the build to be able to do the different things. Like, if you want to heal, you do this build. You want to quick, you do this build. Alac, we do this build, whatever. So, there's really no wrong answer there. It's just, which one do you like? What's the Blish HUD icon left of Mystic Crafting? Bag search. I'd have to reload it because it's not connected right now. But basically, I can type in something and it will search all my characters and my bank to look for it. Item search. Okay, item search. All right, what's up, Wrench? Chat, I have a visitor. Who's being very patient as my son lugs him around like a sack of potatoes.
He's being patient with you.
Okay. When he decides he's done, he starts flailing, and I don't want his paws near my face when he starts flailing. This should be the stream 24 hours. Might have to get a GoPro for him or something, because I don't think he's going to sit in one place for that long. Even then, Chip, I don't think Chip would actually do very well wearing a GoPro, because he's a nudist. He doesn't even wear a collar. He'd probably not find it nice. Mike, just played my first account at 80 this week, playing Warrior. Are there any fun range builds you recommend for PvE? Warrior PvE ranged builds. I see warriors run rifle and try to pop people with gunflame from time to time in PvP. And also Condi warriors in PvP might use the bow for like stacking up burning. One guy in chat said warrior spear. Berserker spear greatsword, someone else said. Why is Gabe so early on the house? It's summer vacation. He starts high school in like a month. Time flies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when the streak started, he was 6. Now he's 14. There is a couple of, I think, like, if you watch the Subnautica stream on the Mukluk Plays YouTube, you could see him, and he was, like, sitting in my lap, and he was watching me play Subnautica, and he was, like, this tall. And now we're playing Subnautica 2 together. Mini-Mutt gonna be driving in a few years. Oof. Yeah. Wait. No, 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 no. Crap. A bunch of people just showed up. Catalyst, Tempest, double LA, huh? Shoot. They got me out of this. Oh my god, so many Condis. Dude, I'm immobilized. That's it. I'm dead. Rip. Boop. Not so many Monk. He's moving on to boy. Mini man. Alright. I think I got my fill of the NG for now. Let's go back home. No matter what NG Elite spec I play, I always end up going back to Hollow. That's like me, no matter what ult I play, I always end up going back to my Druid. Do kids not start driving at 15 these days? It depends on where you live. Both country and then, like, if you're in the United States, it depends on the state also. But I would say normally in the USA, around age 15 to 16, you can get your learner's permit, where you are allowed to drive if like a parent or guardian is in the vehicle, like in the passenger seat. But it varies. One more question. Large weapons and a certain ear clipping. Is there a solution besides hiding the weapon or getting used to it? Wait, what? Hold on. Large weapon and ear clipping. Do you mean like when it's on your shoulder? Or like on your back? Is that what you mean? Yeah. No, there's not really a solution for it. Like, I would say Char have it much worse. Char have the most, like, clipping in the game. But Asura's have a little bit. It's not that bad, though. I got learners at 15 and license at 16 in Minnesota. Yeah, that was my experience in Utah as well. 'Cause I went to high school in Utah. Let's see. I'll keep the normal duds out for now. Could have sworn I heard someone right outside my window. Oh, I've got a button for that.
Here I come.
Any news today on Guild Wars 2 or Guild Wars 3? None that I know of. Oh my god, I saw a cat filling the whole thumbnail in the Guild Wars 2 category. Hold on, is it still there? Nope, it's not still there. I missed out. Oh my god. I was trying to press the engineer buttons, they weren't working. Lag spike. How can send screenshot? I can send it to me on Discord if you want. Yeah, I don't know of any Guild Wars 3 news at the moment that I haven't already covered. How much time do I have to pick up Astral Points if I'm on full points and I don't want to waste it? So it depends on which section it's in. So if these reset each day, these reset each week, and it says time remaining right there. And then these, the special section resets when right there, 63 days remaining. Oh, I thought he was gonna fight me. Wow. I'm surprised. He's a luminary, and they're pretty crazy. Invuln. I don't know how much of that was the one Mesmer, and how much of that was like 20 other people. Can't post anything in the Discord? Just click my name in there and you can DM it to me. Alright, sorry, I haven't talked in a while. I had to focus on that fight. That was challenging. Whew! Could not have done that on my engineer. Don't have the NG skill for that. That was fun, though. It was a fun fight. I'm just saying sorry you went focus mode again and diffed the Amalgam. Amalgam is really powerful, but not every Amalgam is amazing. Because I would say, you know, sometimes... Oh, is this the same guy? Oh, shoot, lag. Lag, leave astral form! Oh my god. I think to be clear, I think I was dead either way. There's too many of them. However, I had to click like 5 times to leave astral form. Rip. Hey, Mega Chat, any idea how long Gen 3 sit on the TP? I don't know, but I know a community that you could ask. This is a Guild Wars 2 community called Overflow, and it's just like a bunch of nerds who love spreadsheets, and they're all about like trading and buy low, sell high and stuff like that. They would be able to answer that. I can't send DM without a friend request? Yeah, you can. People cold DM me stuff I didn't ask for all the time. Clever way to get Mug on your friend list. Yup. Ah, 3 minutes on that. I can't get that right now. Any bets on Guild Wars 3 news today? I don't know. I mean, I'd say it's 50-50. Either it is or it isn't. I don't currently know of any coming out today. There's someone over there. It's a druid. Ah. Definitely could have taken one of them on, but not both at the same time. I thought the right thing to do there was just keep trying to line of sight the longbow user and just focus down the Reaper. And the Reaper was dying. Or, sorry, not Reaper, the Necro. The Necro was dying, but there wasn't enough objects to line of sight the other person around, so they were getting really high uptime on just attacking me freely. The probability discourse again. That's right. There are 3 doors. Behind one of them, there's Guild Wars 3 news today. Behind the other 2, there's not. Oh, getting there right as someone's capping it. Muk, make a merch image of goats and doors for your merch store. I think that would sell between 0 and 1 shirts, Darth. I don't know how well that would do. Dredge. This guy summoned all the turrets. Yeah. Hey, Black Forest. Are you a World v World main now? For the time being, I think I am. I've been having the most fun in World v World and PvP lately. It's like the idea of getting a group to go do a raid just really doesn't appeal to me, because it's like, I've done them so many times, you know, like I know exactly what's going to happen unless the group's bad, which is worse than knowing what's going to happen. But this, other people, that's a curveball. I never know what they're going to do. Oh, jeez. This is going to be kind of rough. The Dredge are here. And they do a lot of damage. Oh, shoot. There's somebody else here. No. No, 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 no. Freaking Dragon's Tooth, man. Invulnerable Stomp. That was unfortunate timing. I had just said the Dredge were going to be a problem because that's 5 NPCs that all spam knockdowns and knockbacks, and while I was dealing with them, the Ellie joined in. And then she did Dragon's Tooth, which has tracking, one of the worst changes they've ever made, and you have to have a dodge for it, and I didn't. I gotta wait for the Astral Power before I mount again. Who's that? Intermore, thank you for the membership. Appreciate you. I want to test something. Lester's Sikkim. Does it happen when he dives underground? Does it do it immediately or at the end of the cast? Okay, he did get it. Dude, I keep getting CC to keep stopping. I just don't know if that's worth it. So basically, every time he does Dimension Breach, which is every 16 seconds, he would proc this, which is 5 seconds of plus 40% damage and movement speed. But that's, I don't know, 40% more damage from the pet for in 5 seconds? That's like just 2 or 3 autos. Don't think it's worth it. There's a great... That's a red tower. But there's a... Actually, you know what? Hang on. Just realized I'm red. There was a green tag in the tower waiting for it to flip so he can flip it back. And I recognize that because I've done that. Right there. Hi. Get off my tower? Just... No reason to make it be easy for him. Because either they can solo the Tower Lord, and they are trying to cap it back, or... it's a thief, so maybe portal shenanigans could be a thing. And that way they don't have to, you know, do the wall. What is going on over here? Oh my god, that hurt. Oh wow. I dazed him, but that other teammate of mine just popped that guy. Too many. Too much is on cooldown. That was very coordinated. It was like 3 people hit me with the pounce at the same time. Oh, we got a few of them. That reminds me, do I have any more of the relic boxes? No. I just have a strong box. Okay. Every time my reward track finishes, I'm getting like another relic that I never got. I'm working on getting all the collections filled out. World v World's been really good for that. How much will Druids suffer in World v World with the Blood Moon changes? It's one less CC. So you'll have one less tool for chaining CC together. All those, anytime that you would have someone where you could kill them by CCing them to death, just barely, now you won't just barely be able to do that, you know? So some fights you'll no longer be able to have enough CC to knock someone out. Other fights, it won't be noticeable at all. I'm personally looking forward to some of the stuff in the patch, like the Staff 2 changes. Really looking forward to trying that. Oh, the Staff 2 change, the Astral 4 change. Like, the Astral 4 change, honestly, it's funny because they said they were taking away the Blood Moon days because it wasn't fun to play against. I think the Astral 4 change is going to be more unfun to play against. Because Astral 4, it's going to be you tap it, and then you're pulsing chill out from you, and healing yourself, and pulsing a water field for 5 seconds while you're doing other things. Like, imagine the druid just, like, running on top of you and, like, shooting you and poisoning you, and you're just getting chilled every second. She could boot me backward if she wants. Right now, the chill pulsing thing, most druids don't use it more than like a second or two in combat because you're doing 0 damage while it's pulsing. But it's going to go from a channeled to an instacast. So now we can just like turn it on and do something else. Why do they recommend roaming the Eternal Battleground? What's the difference? Eternal Battleground is the only map that has a castle. So it's popular for people that want the castle or working on achievements. And then that means that there is just a little bit more people on this map typically than any other. But you can roam on any map for sure. Mike, I was wondering what are the most durable classes in PvP and World v World are currently? I think I enjoy the feeling of being hard as hell to kill. Okay. Now, granted, all of these you will need practice, right? If you can play them well, in my opinion, Amalgam, Spellbreaker, Conduit's pretty solid. Chat, any additions? Alright, I'm leaving my pet on the Ellie to finish him off. Alright, got him. Dude, that supervisor almost ruined my day. Frog Evoker. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Toad Evoker is very, very durable. Quite tanky, lots of protection, lots of stability. Speaking of Amalgam, Yeah, that's a decent one. Not the best one. The best ones, I can't get below 100% health. See this 25 might, fury, alacrity, quickness, vigor? I can't do anything about that. Like, this guy has enough buffs to go tank a raid boss right now. They also can spam barrier on themselves constantly. Yeah, Amalgam, like, pretty much any of the last round of Elite specs are pretty imba right now, but in different ways. Amalgam is just like, if it's played well, it's like a little demigod, and you can't hurt it at all. Gale Shot always wins fights, but they have to be able to cut. Gale Shot feels a little bit more fair, because if I get close, I win, but if I can't get close, they win. But Amalgam, it's just like, if the player's good, I can't do anything. It doesn't matter how the fight starts out. Can he tank a Heisen? I know you're being silly, but Heisen's builds for, like, soloing and stuff are not the top damage in the game. Their whole thing is as much damage as possible after being sturdy enough that you don't die. So that means that he can kill anything that doesn't have an enrage timer. So he gets, like, tankiness up there, and then as much damage as he can after that. So plenty of them do quite a bit of damage, but usually not as much as, like, someone just focused on doing damage, because there's also a lot of survivability thrown in. Too many greens over there. Oh. Obstructed. Someone else is joining in. Oh, I got dazed, and they I was invisible and I got dazed. That was very unlucky that they hit me with that. Dude, the guard keeps immobilizing me. Oh my god. He's gonna misform into the base. Nope, he didn't make it. I have to kill him before the misform comes back off cooldown, though. Oh, Amalgam's here. No. Oh my god. Yeah, that's me dead. Amalgam showed up. Ugh, all of those guards and 2 Ellies weaker than 1 Amalgam. Damn. That was really rough. I was fighting 1 Ellie, I was doing fine. Then another Ellie joined in, the first one backed off. I was doing fine. Mesmer joined in, I was doing fine, then he ran away. And then a guard joined in, really annoying at this point. Still doing fine. And then Amalgam. Is this a homemade build built from your Druid experience? I can't find anything like it on any main build sites. There is a build on a couple of sites that uses almost this, but they're using Wilderness Survival right here. And I tried swapping it out for Beast Mastery to see how it felt. It felt okay. And I haven't really decided if I like it more than the Wilderness Survival variant right now. And that's kind of where I'm at. The main thing I'm liking is Beast Mastery reduces the cooldowns of any pet skills by 20%. So this knockdown is a 16-second cooldown. And the Wolf also has a 24-second cooldown knockdown with Brutal Charge. However, the Wolf is a lot squishier than the Land Shark. So I'm not sure if there's something else that would be better. Like Rock Gazelle is tankier, for example. Hey Mug, is there a solid way of farming spirit shards? Can you recommend some activity? I'm looking into making legendary ring accessory. Which one would be easiest? Spirit shards, you get the buff from your guild hall that increases XP gain, use boosters, and go run a lot of Dragonfall, or any events, metas, things like that. Accessories, Aurora and Vision are a lot easier than the brand new one, Stellar Radiance. The one from World v World, the new one called Strife Unending, which you can earn twice. If you already enjoy World v World and are doing a lot of it, Strife Unending will feel like a freebie. But if you don't like World v World, then don't do that one, just do Aurora and Vision. For rings, you could do Endless Summer from the newest expansion, or you could get Conflux from World v World, same thing. It doesn't feel like work if you already enjoy the game mode, but it does if you don't like it. Or there's one from Raids. That one is, what is it, Coalescence? That one is a lot more work. Coalescence is like doing a lot of raid achievements. Second cooldown on that. I think the problem with this in World v World is the beam. It's horizontal. So if someone's like below it, like if they're down a hill, it's not gonna hit. I don't know this person. The B is a 3-second knockdown. Could try that. Fanged Aboga. Aboga is the only pet that has a pull. Very, very good for that reason. However, I have trouble keeping it alive. The Fanged Aboga is made of glass. Like, if a Luminary jumps on me and spins, it kills the Aboga, even though the Luminary didn't even realize the Aboga was there. Like, it's so fragile. But occasionally, it's gold, because it can pull people off walls and stuff. Just don't let the Aboga get hit. That is the challenge, yes. I wish druids had a staff-like Condi weapon. I hate the bows. Yeah, Guild Wars 2 currently has a lot of projectile block. And Ranger is one of the classes that suffers the most from that. Because the short bow, the longbow, the throwing spear, the throwing axe, all of those are projectile-based weapons. The staff is the only ranged weapon a ranger has that's not projectile-based because it's a beam. But because the beam has a healing mechanic, it does extremely low damage. You can occasionally surprise someone who's running projectile block by using the staff with sharpening stone. So the staff applies like really powerful bleeds for 10 hits. And each tick of each like beam does 3 ticks. But it is a thing to be mindful of for sure. Does this auto do any... No, auto... It's kind of weird that the bee's auto attack... Well, I guess it's a nibble, so it's a bite. I was about to say it's weird it doesn't do poison. But... Oh well. I lost my food buff. Besides the Stance Beast build, you don't really play staff on non-sport builds. Sometimes really just like the weapons basis yours too. For me, my build right now is like 2/3 Trailblazer, 1/3 Apothecary. So the staff is a movement skill and a projectile block and a lot of self-healing. But right now, on the next patch, I'll be able to use the 2 on myself, I believe. I can't right now. And the 4 is a very narrow skill shot, route. Can you work towards World v. World Legendary armor with your solo-ish approach that you often do on stream? Yeah. Most World v. World Legendaries require a lot of World v. World currency, such as tickets. And you can absolutely earn those with a group or solo. There will sometimes be a step like, oh, you have to capture this keep to get like a quest achievement checked off. But you can just follow a blob around or join them for one night to get that done. Most of it is tickets, which is just play World v. World a lot over time. Ah, they interrupted that move. Think you have considered for a while, but it looked daunting. Your PvE PvP approach almost looks like a bit like League of Legends. So in World v. World, it is true that if you join a big blob and they're fighting other big groups of people, you will get more loot. Okay? Like that is a thing. But the loot you're getting is not the stuff for making legendaries faster. It's not that. Alright, so here's one of those moments where I need to use the staff just for healing. And Amalgam is messing me up. Luckily, I'm not here alone. This is a 2v2, and it is helping a lot, so we won the 2v2. Yeah, so typically, like, if you're in a big blob and you're fighting other blobs, let's say you win one blob fight, and you were healing or you were doing AoE, so you tagged most of the enemies that died. You hit them at least one time, or you buffed the person that killed them at least one time. You'll get, like, 30 bags of loot, and that is profitable. But in terms of, like, the stuff you need for the legendaries, you're not going to, like, get the, hang on a second. You're not going to be getting the legendaries faster because you were, like, with the blob or something. This is not good. There's 3 of them there. The Ellie is not a problem for me, but the other 2 plus the Ellie could become a problem for me. Ah, my Entangled missed because he was in mist form. Overload water. Is he just full support now? I think he might have swapped builds from the fight we were in earlier. Like, this guy's annoying, but I don't feel like I'm in any danger, which just means it's inevitable. Got him rooted. He's invuln. He's reflecting all projectiles. I don't know where he went. Didn't realize Sandshark had access to stealth. It doesn't. If you saw me stealth, it was from a druid trait right here, Celestial Shadow. It gives 2 seconds of stealth when I leave astral form. The Sandshark's main thing is it's kind of a brawler. It's not tanky. Or sorry, it's not like really glassy. It's like tanky enough to survive a couple hits, but also does enough damage to be annoying. And it has a stun where it goes underground and comes up underneath the enemy like a teleport. So unless they're dodging or blocking, it does connect. That's the vert that went invisible and ran away from me earlier. I'm not following you back to your team. Saving my other cooldowns in case they come down the hill and mess with me. Yeah, Smoke Scale also can teleport to enemies to connect with them, but it doesn't have any CC. It used to, but they took it away. So it can do a bit of damage, it can stick to enemies, it has a cripple, and it can make the smoke field. That's a clone. Oh. Got him. Is Bow Warrior good? I don't see it often. I assume you're asking in PvP. In PvP, I occasionally run into Kandi Berserkers, and they use the bow to put down like big flaming patches of ground. I don't see it often, but I have seen some people that can use it really well. So in the right hands. You want to play? Uh-oh. He's got too many friends there. Oh my god. Dude, ducking into that corner? Oh my god, so many of them ran right past me. This thing's immune to Kandi. Rifle Zerker can give you funny one-shots. Oh yeah. Yeah, with, what is it, Gunflame? The Angry Bullet, where the warrior builds up rage, then pulls the trigger harder. Why Druid for PvP? It's my main class. It's the class I'm best at. But it is doing fairly well for itself, but I'm not playing the... There's a kind of a bunker druid or side noter build that's been going around lately. I'm not playing that, but it is my favorite class, so I have played it the most. Yeah, I'm honestly not sure about the bait. Maybe turn Honey Toss off. Because without Honey Toss, its skills are the charge that stuns and the rapid poison attacks, which hit really hard. Honey Toss might actually be its worst skill. I kind of wish you could set a priority system for skills. Like, if everything's off cooldown, do this first, then this, like, in order. I don't know if anyone here played Dragon Age Origins. I loved that you could do that in that. Like, when you'd be setting up your teammates' AI, like, spam this, never use this one, use this one if the party gets below 50% health. Like, to this day, I think of every game where you control like a party of people, DA Origins had the best system for setting them up to play how you want them to play. Uh, 28 seconds. Final Fantasy VII also had a great... Oh, wait, no. That's not 7. That's 12? Yeah, I don't know anything about FF12. I played FF16. And I know FF7 is the one with Cloud and Sephiroth. I don't really know any of the others. Yeah, even the sequels to Dragon Age. Like, DA2 had the party AI system a little bit, but not that much. It was like you could set each ability for use this often, frequently, infrequently, or never. And it was really vague. But in DA Origins, you could be like, if your health gets below 20%, use a potion. If your health gets below 90%, cast this heal over time on yourself. Yeah, like you could do really specific stuff with Origins. Yeah, see, the B did the knockdown, and then it did the rapid poison jab. Also, B's surprisingly tanky. 1600 toughness, 3700 vitality. That's the same base stats that Tony has. So if I can make it work, that would be a good fit for the build. The main thing is, though, is that Tony could do a knockdown every 16 seconds. The B is every 24. But it's a long duration. It's a 3-second knockdown. I did feel like they oversimplified a bit on DI2. Honestly, I loved all three of the... everything but Veilguard. I loved all the Dragon Ages except Veilguard. So this is a no jumping zone. But it's like DA2, I think a lot of people say that they don't like it. But I enjoyed it. I did enjoy Origins more, to be clear, but I did enjoy DA2. That's not good. Bro, how? Okay, yeah, it's too many. It's too many. Nothing to line of sight nearby and too many people on me. I got 10 bleeds on her. Yo, are you she gonna cleanse that? Man. Let's see. What didn't you like with Veilguard? Veilguard, it was a bunch of things. It's been a while since I played it, so it's not fresh in my head, but I'll try. Okay, here's the thing. In Dragon Age 1, 2, and 3, you could take control of any of your party members and control them. You couldn't do that in Veilguard. In DA 1, 2, and 3, the party size was 4, Veilguard was 3. It was simplified. In DA 1, 2, and 3, each of your teammates had their own talent trees. Like, massive talent trees. Lots of choices to make. In DA 4, you couldn't control your companions, and they just had, like, one button, and you would say, like, use your ability now. And then they would do their one thing, and then it would have, like, a minute cooldown. So it was, like, they really made it super brain dead, right? They took all the fun of customizing your team, controlling your team, setting them up. They just removed all of that. And then, on top of all that, there was the writing, which I'm sure any of you, even if you didn't play Veilguard, remember all the memes and stuff floating around the internet. Like, there was a mandatory quest in the quest line to kill the ancient evil that's summoning undead dragons to kill the world. There was a mandatory quest where you have to help Tosh, I think her name was, find that she's non-binary. And it's like, look, if that's you, that's fine. I don't care. It shouldn't be a mandatory quest, like, in the middle of the story to stop God from destroying the world. Like, what? This doesn't have anything to do with anything. Like, this is completely out there. There was... What was some of the other stuff? Oh, I did find the combat kind of fun, but it never changed. Like, you never unlocked, like, new weapons or anything. So the same combat I was doing in the first hour, I was doing the exact same thing at the end of the game, in, like, the final boss fight. Like, I never got new weapons, like, really fancy new skills or anything like that. It never changed. Pet ship for me? Sure. Next time I see you. So, yeah, that's what I can remember. Basically, just a lot of the stuff. Also there was another thing. Dragon Age 1, 2, and 3 are connected by the choices you make. Like, one of the villains in DA 1, if you spare him, he's in DA 3, and he's a Grey Warden, and he's trying to get redemption. But if you kill him in DA 1, he's not in DA 3. One of the huge selling points of that franchise was how interconnected they were. And they did not do that at all with the fourth one. They didn't do that at all. There might have been some other things, but it's been a while since I played it. I did beat it. But, yeah. Was very, very much a disappointment. Because we were really hyped. Like, leading up to Veilguard's release, we did a full playthrough of DA 1, 2, and 3 on this channel right before DA 4 came out. And so it was really fresh in our heads when we went into DA 4, and then it was like, oh god. Would you say Veilguard is not even worth the current price of 70% off? I would honestly say it's not worth it if you got it for free. And I don't think I've ever said that about a game before. Like, it was really bad. Like, I think if you're playing games for entertainment, there's a million other games you could play for more entertainment for your time. Like, there might be some folks that just really enjoyed it. I'm just not one of them. Someone pulled that warrior in right as I stunned her. She just got nom 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 nom. I'm with you. DA 1 through 3 was amazing. Veilguard felt like they were pushing ideologies for the game that felt pushy and forced. I think you're referring to the non-binary thing, and I will say it felt forced. Like there in every other DA 1 through 3, there were optional quests for the individual companions you could do, but they weren't part of the main storyline. Having it to where you have to help Tosh tell her mother she's non-binary before you can fight God was weird. That was very strange. Also, Tosh was a very hateable character. Like, I remember when we met Tosh, we're like, oh, are you part of the, what are they called? The Qun. We're like, oh, hey, are you part of the Qun? And she's like, no. Just because I dress like them doesn't mean I am like them. And I was like, okay. And then later on, she starts insulting one of your party members for wearing a dress. Because it's, like, too feminine or something. And it's like, this character told us not to judge people by their appearances, and now she's making fun of somebody else because of their appearance. Also, she name-called the Necromancer all the time, until it got to the point where he was like, you know, stop it, you're hurting my feelings, and you had to, like, break him up. So it was, like... It was really weird. It was really weird. It was very strange. It was extremely strange. Careful, Muck, you're gonna do push-ups? Oh god, that. Yeah, that was another really just weird scene. Like, to be clear, because, like, this is such a walking on eggshells subject. There's nothing wrong with having a character like that. In DA3, I forget their name. Iron Bull's second in command of his squad in Dragon Age Inquisition was a woman who was like, I identify as a guy, I just want to be one of the boys. And they were like, okay. And then she did her job, and they were like out there fighting on the front lines with everybody else, and it was never brought up again. Totally fine. Like, it wasn't like in your face about it, and they were a very likable character. There was actually a fork in Iron Bull's path, one of them where like you save that squad and one where you fail to do so. And then what's her name? The crazy elf lady that made the bee grenades. You know, she was a chick who liked chicks. And she's like one of your main squad mates. And she was Sarah. Yeah, she was really good at getting into trouble. Oh. She was really good at getting into trouble. And she was a very fun character, and she was an Inquisition. I got fussed at because I interrupted a 1v1 chat, so I'm moving away. So yeah, it wasn't bad that the character was there, it was just really weird how they did it. Oh, dang it. Almost had that guy, and he got his shroud back. Is that a short bow? Yes, I'm using a short bow and a staff with this build. Black Forest, I laughed. Throwing axe thief. Someone else just joined in. Turned him into a sprinkler. Oh, shoot. I might be dead. My movement skill's on cooldown, and there's a lot of people chasing me. Yep. Wait, what? Oh, somebody else jumped the thief in the back. He's gonna rally in a second, because I'm dying. Yeah, I used staff 3 for a heal to survive the, what was it? The spin ult of the thief, the first one. And then after I killed her, it was on cooldown, and did not have it for an escape. Good fight versus the Daredevil, though. Does anyone know how often they rotate skins in the Black Lion shop? Immersible, every week there's a chance that they will add stuff to it, and then pull some old stuff off. It is Tuesday, so there's a chance they'll do some today, but I don't know. Let me take a look. Actually, I think this might have just been added today. Returning. The cat ears. Yeah, individually, I think all those items have been on sale before, but I don't think I've ever seen them in a package like that. Holy inventory. It's fine. We still got like 300 slots. I got deep pockets. Clem. You know, since I put down Warframe, and I'm not really intending to return to it, I'm wondering if I should Google the Clem thing and finally understand what that is. Mug, do you think the deluxe pack of the DLCs is worth it? Do you mean deluxe or digital deluxe? Because they're different. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, I was about to 1v1 the mech, and then people were very rude. Alright. I killed that catalyst earlier. I'll leave him alone. Okay. Unless he really wants to fight. And that's the Tempest that was super tanky. Mom's gonna bring me something in a bit. It's okay. Thank you, though. Mm-hmm. So someone asked about the deluxe thing. So usually, like, if you're buying a game off the website, let me use my own referral link here to open up their buy page. All right, so if I say I want, I don't know, Visions of... Yo, I'm trying to sell Guild Wars here. Go away. Anyway. Deluxe usually just has the standard game plus some, like, extra knickknacks. And then Ultimate is Deluxe, but it also has $50 worth of gems for $25 increased price tag. So, Deluxe is worth it if you could use the stuff that's getting added with the purchase. Like the Infinite Gathering tools, the extra slot, stuff like that. But if you don't really need that stuff, then it wouldn't be worth it. Hello. Wow. That was a lot of damage. Was that all the vert? The hollow stunned me, but hang on, I'll take a look. Dude, I don't even, like, see anything. I don't even see what it was. I see lots of small hits. I don't see whatever popped me from full health, though. Huh. Muck, do you recommend using the 80 boost, and if so, when? I have a video right there called Should You Boost? And that is the detailed answer. The short answer is I do not recommend boosting your first character, because you will be drowning in information, and it'll make you frustrated. Wait, what was the thing? Oh, did you not like Warframe? It was fine. Okay. Gameplay, kind of fun, but it encouraged me to never group with other people. And the reason for that is it doesn't have a squishing thing like Guild Wars 2 does. Like Guild Wars 2, if I'm level 30 and I group with someone who's level 50, it'll squish them down to level 30 if we're in a level 30 zone. Warframe didn't have that. So the few times I grouped with somebody else, they were just one-shotting everything in the zone, and I was just focused entirely on trying to keep up with them. I couldn't play the game. So it felt bad to party with anyone. That's not great game design. So that was the first thing. Second thing was the writing. I couldn't make any sense of it. And I played 41 hours of it, and there was so much that was either like really vague or plot holes, or chat was like, yeah, when you do the next quest in 150 hours, it ties in so well. And I was just like, oh my god. So like in the first 40 hours, the story made very little sense. It didn't make any sense at all. It felt partially like a mobile game, not in terms of gameplay, but in terms of upgrades. There was so many upgrades that it's like, you farm for days to get the stuff, you tell your 3D printer to start crafting the upgrade, and it would take 72 hours. Literally come back in 3.5 days. And it felt like I was playing Clash of Clans in that regard. So, the gameplay on my own was kind of fun, but that was like all it had going for it to me. Because the story was rough, the multiplayer felt terrible, and upgrading felt bad. Muck, as the lead designer, programmer, marketeer, etc. of Guild Wars 2, 3, and Mistbound, do you know if there will be any physical Mistbound cards, or is it all digital? My only knowledge of it is digital. That guy's in a spider costume. I wonder if I can trust him to leave me alone. Ah, line of sight, my beloved. There we go. See that? If I give me a what do they call it in World of Warcraft? A pillar to hump? Give me a pillar to hump, and I can just go round and round and round and round and round, and all the camp and the Necro is dead. That was a bit extra, but I just did the Roots Honor to kill her. I've actually heard a lot of people that are like, or were fans of World of Warcraft PvP, and they often say that they hate watching it these days because it's just so much pillar humping. Because there will be like an arena with a couple of pillars, and it's just people will pick one pillar and then just do this around it the whole time. What were you hitting them with? I assume you mean like while I was going around the pillar. My Astral 5 skill has a very short range around me, but it does not require line of sight. So if like we're on opposite sides of a tree or a rock or that thing, I can hit them if they're close enough. And so I was mainly just continuing to hit them with that and run around the thing. And what they should have done was essentially just backed away. Like they were so eager to hit me, they kept running around the pole with me. They didn't have to do that, but they were seeing red, so. Those two were just standing there. A ritualist. Dang, my root missed. That's unfortunate. Oh, shoot. Okay. Now I die. A second person joined in, and this ritualist was already tough enough. Yeah. Dude, it's the troubadour that I left alone while he was like AFK. Oh, man. Okay. Damn. Alright. That's cool. I'm being too nice for World v World, chat. Yeah, that Rid fight was kind of at a stalemate at the time that he interfered, but, like, I wasn't losing, but I certainly wasn't winning either. Those new elite specs are very strong. Are there any features that you would like to see carry over to Guild Wars 3, if any? What class would you like to see? Any improvements to features from Guild Wars 2? Okay. I have thought about this at length, because I get asked this question similar to this a lot. What is it that makes me love Guild Wars 2 so much, right? The story's okay. It's kind of fun. Raids are fine. Dungeons are dead. Fractals are fine. Strikes were fine. I think for me, it's the combat. The combat system in this game just feels so fluid, you know, unless you're lagging. I just love it so much. So I can be doing almost anything, and I'll be having fun because I'm playing my character, and I love playing my character. So, Guild Wars 3, this is going to sound like a cop-out answer, but my bottom line is I just hope it's fun. Like, Guild Wars 1, I liked it. I played it all the way through twice. Guild Wars 2, so it's like, maybe I did 100 hours of Guild Wars 1. Guild Wars 2, 10,000 hours. Like, there's a big difference between a game that you like and a game that's cracked to you for 5 years. So I'm just hoping Guild Wars 3 ends up as something that I find fun. Now, like, specific things, like, you asked, will we have the same classes? I don't know. Like, I'm sure there's going to be something like a warrior. Maybe it'll be called a fighter or a soldier. I'm sure there's going to be a thief. Maybe it'll be called assassin, rogue, scoundrel. You know, it might be by another name, but there's going to be a thief. There's going to be a warrior. There's probably going to be an archer guy. Is there going to be pet classes? I don't know. You know, they might have Necromancer could exist during that time period, or they could have Ranger with Animal Pet. Mechanist is out. That's not going to be there. Engineer and Guardian are out, but Guardian was an evolution of the Monk, so the Monk might be back. Or it might be something that predated Monk. You know, they might have some other support there. Or, you know, who knows? Remember when Guild Wars 2 first came out? They didn't have supports. Maybe they'll go back to that timeline when there were no supports. And they're just like, that's what we want. Okay. And he joins in. Okay. Yep. So, I tried to get the Troubadour, but then the Reaper jumped me. Alright. I will have to concede to these guys because they do not want to do any 1v1s. I will just have to leave them alone. I left the Troubadour alone, and then he jumped me while I was 1v1ing the Rit, and then I tried to fight the Trouba, and the Reaper jumped me. So I'm just gonna leave that area alone. Monk would be sick, hand-to-hand combat, punching, kicking magic. Well, prop, the Monk in Guild Wars 1 was not a martial artist. He was a monk just like in the pray to God and get miracles kind of way. Both Guardian and Ellie were supports on release. Not good ones. There were lots of people that tried doing things like running around with an engineer with just like with a med kit or being just a camp water forever elementalist, and they weren't worth a party slot. So it was like amusing, but it really wasn't worth swapping somebody out for. Do they, what's this? I do hope they have a minion class. I think there's a high probability there's going to be Necro because of the time period. And Necro's been in both their games so far. But I don't know, like, what flavor of Necro it'll be, right? Because, like, they could have it focused on curses, they could have it focused on minions. Honestly, hoping for a lot of class customization. You know, whether it is little talent trees and specializations like this, or whether it's just, here's 1,000 skills, choose 8 of them, like Guild Wars 1. Any of that would be fine. Or maybe even the Path of Exile talent tree. Just something to keep my mind entertained. Imagine it's going to be isometric Diablo PoE style game. I can almost guarantee you it's going to be different. Whatever it is, I think it is not going to play like Guild Wars 1 or 2. It is going to be its own thing, whatever that thing is. I just hope that thing makes my brain make the happy juice. This is very stupid of me. Let's get stupid, chat. Vert's down. Hey. Thank you. Just sit in the chair. I'll get it in just a minute. Thank you. Two down. Three down. Fourth ran away. Hey! They were definitely distracted by fighting the camp thing. But 1v3. Now, if I start fighting the camp, they will start attacking me. Dude, I completely lost that Mesmer. Unless she's still invisible. Oh, there she goes. I assure you, Chad, harvesting the truffle mid-combat is essential for the success of this mission. Okay. 3 of them are here now. The motorcycle thing is annoying? I don't know that I've ever really had experience fighting someone on that. Alright, killed the vert. How did you get up? Oh, probably rallied from an NPC. think there's too many. I don't know if I can finish her off. Yeah. Well, it was fun while it lasted, but there's too many of them now. Did get, I think 4 kills there. Isn't the time of Guild Wars 3 before the Mad King lived, which would mean no Thorn on Halloween? That would be sad. It's definitely pre-Joko. I don't know the history of the Thorn family. Wait, what's that? Vert plus Herald. Nice. Won the 1v2. B is doing okay. Its basic attack is very underwhelming, but it has as much survivability as the Shark, and it has one move that does a surprising amount of damage, and it has a 3-second long knockdown. So it's doing okay. My pet. They could. Someone said they could have Mad King Thorn visit Guild Wars 3 in a tiny time machine. I don't know, I feel like too much of the game, you could just be like, well, why didn't they just use the time machine if they have a time machine? Unless it's like, it can't be controlled, like the commandos that are stuck in the mist that keep appearing. Almost forgot my wife brought me a sandwich during that fight versus the other people. Now I can finally turn my attention to it. Peanut butter and jelly. I'm a simple man. Almost got the bar full. There we go. Guess he doesn't want any of my froggy friends. Oh, there's another blue guy coming over though. This might be too much for me. Signet of Renewal failed. It didn't give me the condition cleanse. I hate when that happens. I've reported that for 6 years. Was trying to see if there was anything to harvest at the node, accidentally got in the trebuchet. Is it natural peanut butter with honey on oat nut bread? You sound like somebody who would not get invited to the barbecue. No, it is not either of those things. It is white bread that came in a bag that just says white bread, and peanut butter that just came in a jar that says peanut butter, might have said creamy, and grape jelly. That guy's about to try to ballista me. There it is. The guard immobilized me. By EU regulations, it would pass as cake and not bread. I have no idea. I think by EU regulations, the person who's deciding if it was cake or not would probably die in a heat stroke because they're not allowed to have air conditioning. And then we would never get our answer. Evaded. Oh, he's got his pacemaker on. Hey Muk, I have 300 hours of Guild Wars 2 and I'm returning after a 6-month hiatus. After being Guardian most of the time, I'm looking for something new and fun to play through VOE. Looking for something that is easy to play but much fun. Any recommendations? For me is a build that has low skill ceiling, not too fragile, and goes ba-boom. Damn, do you have fries with that? Buzz says Amalgam. Yeah, Amalgam is not bad. I mean, they can't even weapon swap, so you've got less buttons to figure out on anything engineer. Unless you're running like 5 kits or something. I could waypoint out right now. Do I want to, though? I've got like one teammate over there fighting. Okay, one teammate who's a Mirage. Fighting like a million. What just hit me? What the hell? I love that whatever that was didn't render. Just lost 2/3 of my mount's health. For Guardian, general open world metas and story, what spec should I go for? Luminary is new and pretty fun. And there's a lot of Luminary builds that are on websites like MetaBattle and Guild Gen that you could grab. Firebrand can do a lot more, but it's much more intense to play. Mark Charmon's being mean to me. Is it a day that ends in Y? We're also able to get life-threatening diseases or injuries and not be financially ruined, so no widespread air conditioning is not that big of a deal. Well, first of all, I will say you're absolutely right, and I do envy your healthcare system, all right? Let's go ahead and get that out of the way right now. As an American, who's currently having to see doctors repeatedly because of my voice box being messed up or whatever's going on with my throat. I am bleeding money with the doctors, and I am envious of you for that. However, the fact that Europe has more people who dies of hot air each year than America has people die of, like, firearms, which we get memed on for that all the time. That's insane. EU's going through a heat wave. It is going through a heat wave, and it is really hot outside. I've seen pictures of y'all, like, the tram. Like, the tracks are melting. Like, that's wild. And yeah, like, definitely outside, crazy. But people dying inside, because it's like, you know, 100 degrees Celsius inside. That's absolutely wild. Like, it just shouldn't be like that. You should be able to be comfortable in your own home. Ooh, a Harbinger. I'm not feeling good about this. I'm flying! Bam, all the boons. Yeah, the Harbinger's elite skill basically gives them every boon in the game. And you have to, if you're fighting them, you have to survive that. Oh man, the bee landed his 3-second knockdown there. Misform? Nope. What spec are you running? It's a Condi Druid. But I try there's a Condi Druid build that's popular right now, but they're running Wilderness Survival here. I was trying it out with Beast Mastery and different pets to see how it felt. Is a limitation of AC from energy costs or chemical limitations? As an American who only knows what I hear from, like, the news, because, you know, I don't live over there, my understanding is that you will actually get fined and get in trouble, like, legally if you buy and start using an AC without, like, permission to do it, which is crazy. That's such fake news. I would hope so. It's true if you're renting. So if you're renting like an apartment or something, you can't get like an AC. Because, like, here, if you live in a hot place, you could get an AC unit, open a window, put the unit in the window, and close the window to hold it in place, and boom, you've got air conditioning. You can also get some small wall-mounted ones if you wanted to. Here, I mean. Now, if I get behind the bee, he can't interrupt me with hammer throw. Warrior and Engineer's downstate cannot interrupt a ranger if they stand behind their pet while stomping. EU has laws about installation permits. Maybe that's what I heard of? It's also possible people just lied online and I read it, you know. People lie on the internet? There's someone over there. Oh, I didn't even know you could get up there. I just learned something new. Oh. I think I'm dead. Wow, I really messed up that Berserker while just trying to get away. I didn't realize it. Water battle? Oh, shoot. Necro, Ranger, Troubadour, Guardian. Oh no. It's too many. I think I juked him. I totally could waypoint out right now. It's like right this moment, I'm home free. But I'm gonna stick around just to have fun. Actually, what would be fun for me right now is to hide in this corner, and so they lose sight of me, and then waypoint out, and just think to myself, how long are they going to keep looking for me? They wanted you? Yeah. Anything that you can put in and remove without damage, you should be fine. Oh, another thing that I've seen floating around is like, okay, it was supposedly a picture of a home in EU, maybe an apartment or something, and they had like a window, and like when the window was open, there was like a cable between the window and the window sill, so it couldn't be opened more than like 2 inches or something. And I don't know if that's a common thing or if it was just like one thing that was blown out of proportion. One guy says what and someone else says true. So it's like, assuming you're inside your house and it's like 100 degrees and you can't open the window more than 2 inches. That's just like, okay, guess I'll die. Do you have your build listed for World v. World? If you do !build in the chat, there's a link for my Ranger. And then, I'm currently using build 6. The underlying issue is our homes are not built for this climate. I know, your homes are built to conserve heat and trap it inside. But if you have an AC unit, that kind of fixes it. Most home in Europe are also brick and stone. When I used to live in, well, I started to say this. Most of you won't know this, but it's a city called Tucker. I used to live in Tucker, Georgia, and we lived in a brick house. And we're also, Georgia's a lot closer to the equator as well. We had some hot summers, but we had AC, so it really didn't matter once we were indoors. You know, this whole talk about the hot days and stuff, it reminds me of a short story for you guys. When I was in tech support, we were in a building, and the building had 2 floors. And the second floor was just like a staircase going upstairs and then one very large room. And the boss was rearranging the place, and he puts us all upstairs in that big room. And the room basically trapped heat because heat rises, and there was no windows up there. Like, it even had like a vaulted ceiling, like it was a finished attic type thing. And we're in there, we got our desks, we all got our computers, we all turn our computers on, the computers start producing heat. It is getting really, really hot up there. Like, people are kicking off shoes and socks. Some people are taking off outer shirts and just working in like undershirts and pants. Like, it was getting really bad. And then the one of our guys, he goes downstairs to like microwave a breakfast biscuit that he had gotten on the way to work. It's like a McDonald's McMuffin or something, I don't know. And he goes to microwave it, and he meant to do it for like 2 minutes. He accidentally set it for 20 minutes. And then he came back upstairs. And then he got busy with something and he forgot about it. And smoke started coming up from downstairs. And we're like, what is going on? And people head downstairs, and there's basically a fireball inside the microwave just spinning. It was still in like the wrapper, you know? And the wrapper had like the plastic sticker on it, and it was just like melting. And so like they're like, oh god. And so like they open the microwave, they put the small fire out, but the whole place just smells like melted plastic, and it's like 105 degrees upstairs. So it's like, it just smells awful. And then my supervisor, he's like, I've got to work on, we've got a server that's malfunctioning. And this server just keeps setting off like an alarm. Kind of like, you guys ever have like a power supply and it's out of, like your power goes out and it starts like beeping and shrieking? It's doing that. So he's like, I know this is going to be annoying, guys. Let me know if you get on any phone calls and I'll stop for a minute, but I need to turn this on and figure out what's going on. So it's 105 degrees. The air is full of smoke and melted plastic. And there's just this loud beep just for hours. Dude, I was getting the worst migraine. I almost like threw up on my keyboard. And I was just like, I was getting assaulted on 3 of my 5 senses. And I was like, dude, I'm gonna throw up. I need you to stop. It was like the worst day of work. It was so bad. Another day that was bad for a different reason, chat. This is when, same company, but at the time we were working out of a house. Like it was, my boss basically bought a second house in his neighborhood, so he didn't have a long commute, and he just set up all our desks in the house. And it was apparently legal as long as you don't have customers coming in. And since we were working over the phones, it was legal. So he wanted to get the, don't touch me. He wanted to get the backyard covered in gravel so that we could all park in the backyard. So he hires this guy to come in and like lay gravel, like basically just like a dump truck full of gravel, just dump it in the backyard and then spread it out. He hires this guy to do that. I gotta get by the trees if I'm gonna fight these dudes. And the guy pulls this dump truck full of gravel, so you know it weighs like 100 pounds or something, or it weighs like 1,000,000 pounds or something. He pulls this thing in, and suddenly the ground gives way, and the truck sinks into the ground. Can any of you guess what he drove over the top of with his 10-ton truck full of gravel? That's right. The septic tank, which was full of poopy. So all of a sudden, the air of 1,000 poops hits tech support. Oh my god. And you can't open the window because that makes it worse, because it's right outside the window. And we're told, don't flush. Do not use the bathrooms. So for the next like 2 or 3 days, anytime that we had to like go to the bathroom or something. By the way, did I kill that? I don't even remember what happened in that fight. I've been talking about septic tanks. Anytime in the next few days that someone had to use the bathroom, they were basically told drive to McDonald's. It was very bad. It was really bad. I would just die. Yeah, it's just working in tech support. Hi, how can I help you? Did you break your computer while smelling poopy for days? Is that dangerous? I don't think our boss was concerned with that. You know, legal things. Yeah, part of it was like, you know, when he broke the lid of the septic tank is like a concrete slab, and it broke, so chunks of the concrete went down into the septic tank, and they had to hire a guy that came out with like a little like steam shovel thing that he was driving to basically fish out all the concrete out of the poo, so that they could put a new lid on it. To make it short, what Muck said about the legality of ACs, at least in Germany, they're always legal, but you need a certified technician to install it, and beyond a certain power potential, it needs to be registered. Not doing Roller Beetle week content? Oh no. Oh, he went invisible. I was gonna jump that guy in the water. Excavator. There you go. I think this was the lady that was running me over with the motorcycle earlier. No. No. Crap. My only chance is if that guy dies first and then I rally. Dang. The only way I could have survived there is if instead of going this way, which was open, if I'd cut that corner, line of sighted them, there would have been a better chance. But I killed one, I was about to kill number 2, and then 3 and 4 showed up, and I had a bunch of stuff on cooldown, and it was too many people. Do you have to register a high-powered gaming computer? No. No, I can't think of, like, any device in my house that has to be registered with anybody. I remember when I was like a kid, microwaves had to be registered because like they were made with some component that was really rare, but then like that kind of went away over the years. And that was like, you know, 80 years ago. It's funny that we are talking about septic tanks, and I'm passing a guild called Toot. Mug, have you changed thermal paste on CPU and GPU before? CPU, yes. It has been, I'm at a point in my life where I would rather, like, take the computer to Geek Squad and pay them to do any changes I need rather than do it myself. But yes, I have done that before with CPUs. GPU? No. GPUs, it's always just been like, plug it in. We were joking about USA power consumption versus Europe power consumption, but if data centers keep popping up, we may run into a similar problem. Yeah, I was mainly just talking about, like, the hoops you have to jump through to get AC, from what I have heard in Europe. And just, like, having just recently been made aware of the stats of how many people die from, like, hot air in Europe versus USA, it's very shocking. It's very shocking. Have you ever played Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, or War Games? Yes. That sounds familiar. Yeah, Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, 17 hours. I beat it. It was fine. That was before I was a streamer, so it's not recorded, but I never really went back and played it more. Okay, there's a friendly Mirage enemy evoker. Steve's annoying. She's spamming one of those skills where she's like evading while striking. Okay, B, stay on that guy. Wow, the pathing? Oh my god, it took the B so long to get to him, but he did reach him. He had to go all the way around. He's trying. Oh my god, dude. Really? Oh, that was a misclick. I launched myself away from him. Not what I wanted. For sake of imagination or excitement, how would you evolve the combat in this game for Guild Wars 3? I don't know. The thing is, they say, like, this no one who played Guild Wars 1 could have predicted what Guild Wars 2 was going to be like. I am just betting that Guild Wars 3 is not going to be anything like Guild Wars 1 or 2. Like, they say it's going to be like an action, action RPG. I'm thinking like God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, which are both games I found fun, but I didn't play 10,000 hours of them. I don't know. Oh, man. So when that fight started, I was like, oh, it's 3 of us versus 4 of them. But then one of my teammates just ran. So I was like, oh, it's a 2v4. And then I was like, okay, we gotta go. I'm unsure how a God of War style game translates to an MMO. Okay, hang on. Black Desert Online. Black Desert Online is an action MMO. I hope it doesn't play like BDO, because BDO is fine. I played it for a year, but I'm itching for something different. So I don't know what we're gonna get. I would say the big thing that I want, I guess, would be class customization. Give me lots of choices where I could play with builds and try different things out. I love that. You know, talent trees or whatever. If you have a character you intend to focus for World v. World, is there still a benefit to open worlding for waypoints and other completions? Not unless you need a gift of exploration to make a Leggy or something. I hope it's not action KM mandatory. True, yeah, I'll agree with that. If I'm playing an MMO, I do want to be able to tab target things. Like, if I want to be, you know, really precise with everything I'm doing, then I'll play a shooter. Have you ever played a Sura Ranger with Elite Spec Druid using short bow and riding a fluffy tail mount? Yes, at least once. Oh, that blue blob just captured this. Does this firebrand want to fight? They're too close. I wanted to try and attack him, but his blob would just come over and eat me. What are your thoughts on the open world? Do you think they'll go more toward WoW with hardly any load screens? So, I think the big question for me right now is Guild Wars 3 open world. Will it be like Guild Wars 1, where the towns are like a hub, but open world is instanced? So everyone has their own copy of the open world? Or Guild Wars 2, where the open world is instances, but it's all public? Or World of Warcraft, where, you know, a whole continent is an instance and it's all public? So there's 3 big things I can immediately think of that it could be. Another thing that's crossed my mind is, like, they said it's going to have controller support, right? Because it's going to be on PlayStation. As a PC Master Race enjoyer, often when I play games that were made for a console, then they just made them work on PC, they weren't great. Like, the controls, like, you could tell. So, I am hoping that we don't have any kind of problem with that. Ah, she evaded it. I just tried to root her. Like, for example, Guild Wars 1, they made it work on mobile just recently, right? And they moved some of the buttons around so you can use your 1 through 8 skills with your right thumb and movement with your left, I believe. And that was fine. But Guild Wars 2, you got more than 8 buttons. Like, on your standard character, you've got 1 through 10. You got weapon swap, so that's a button. Your special action key, and your button up here, depending on your class. And then you might have, like, if you're an engineer or ranger, you've got F1 through F5 over there. So if they've got to get all that working for console as well, you know, I hope they can do it in a way that doesn't sacrifice how fun it is on PC. I hope there's not forced open world PvP. I highly doubt that they would do forced open world PvP. Most games that have forced open world PvP have died. There's been a few that haven't, Albion Online, but most of them die. I would, honestly, I'm wondering, like, will there be any PvP at all? And I hope so. Because sometimes I'm not in the mood for it, and sometimes I am. So I hope there is a form of PvP in it. Hello. Look at her boons. Oh my god. Honestly, I think she was just kind of messing around. She was like, oh, I'm so tanky, this guy can't kill me, I don't have to take it seriously. And then I think I surprised her with like a huge burst of conditions, and she's like, oh wait, dead. Because just the way she was moving around, I felt like she wasn't taking that seriously. And then it was over. Dude, I keep getting CC'd. Freaking magnet aura. Oh, let me just disable your whole class. I'll AoE because of the wolves. Oh no, they got battle resed. I can't win if there's a dedicated healer on him. He was tough enough as it was. I just threw two stuns and 1 daze at him and none of it landed. Yeah, I think this is double support. Yeah. This is just a waste of time. They're not gonna kill me, and I'm not gonna kill them. They have no damage, and I don't have enough damage to chew through 2 people AoE healing. For Xbox. Yours 3 wishlist, fun combat, horizontal progression, 1 max level cap that's never raised, fun endgame PvE, and huffing massive copium for this char. There what? Okay, hold on. I gotta find it, because Charmon would absolutely hate this. Let me see if I can find it. Where was it posted? I can't find it. I thought it was on my Discord. Maybe I saw it on a different Discord. There was a picture that someone drew of a Char running on all fours, and it had a saddle, and there was an Asura riding on top of it, firing 2 pistols. And they said maybe Char can come back to get for Guild Wars 3. They can be the mount system. Yeah, they could just have to kill. In PC Gamer, they say Guild Wars 3 is more about segments of small groups playing that makes gameplay more fun, so no large PvP battles then. It's too cryptic. Segments of small groups, like that could be dungeons and not open world. That could be fractals and not raids. That could be conquest and not world v world. Like that sentence is like vague king. It doesn't say anything on its own without more information. All right. Well, it is about that time, chat. Let's deposit all our goodies here. Still got 300 inventory spaces open, which means we could probably go another month without cleaning it. Ha! I was thinking about that earlier. Like, I really want World v World to be in Guild Wars 3, but they didn't even bring over GVG from Guild Wars 1, and that was the most popular part of that game. They did try to make Guild Wars 2 an esport for a while, but they were focused more on 5v5 at the time that they were trying that. Have a good day. Oh, hey Skooma, sorry about that, but you're very welcome. You're very welcome. You have a good time as well. Okay. Well, chat, it is past 2 p.m. I am out of time, so I am going to wrap it up here. And for those of you that might want to hang out with me later, I will be back this evening for the evening Guild Wars Tuesday stream with a giveaway. And might be starting The Last of Us 1 DLC after that, for those interested in that. As always, thanks for being here. Please hit the follow button if you're on Twitch, subscribe if you're on YouTube. There's links to my 2 YouTube channels right there. And a special thank you to the patrons. Couldn't stay in business without their help. There's a link to that in the chat if you'd like to be a supporter and earn some special perks. Shilling complete. Let me see who is live right now that I can raid and try to support another content creator. Who do we got? Who is live? Sneb is live. Sneb is good, people. He's okay. I'll give him some support. Looks like he's raiding right now, so we will see what Snebzor is up to. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will be back later tonight. See ya!